Hey, welcome back, YouTubers, to another hashtag TTH review and showcase. So, as I said in my previous videos, at some point I am going to be showcasing my Legion army that I have built up recently. Some of it was a trade, thanks to a very good friend of mine, and the others have been solely my purchases and additions to my force. In the beginning, it was a bit of a debate, which starter set to go for, clones and droids, Empire and Rebels. Um, so the trade I did with the friend, I got quite a large contingent of his Empire army, and I thought, let me roll with it, and I've been thoroughly enjoying playing Empire. Um, at some point, I'm keen to open up a new faction, maybe the Rebels. I see the new updates for Legion. The clones are getting a few new things. The droids are definitely getting a few new things. So they could very well be my, um, second faction to play. The shop I play at, I'll drop their link down below. We have a group going every Wednesdays now for Legion 500-point games. It can be more depending. And the games can be clones, droids, Empire versus Empire, Empire versus Rebels. So it just depends who shows up and who has what army. I think for Empire, I've got a fairly good force at the moment, so I won't be doing any more for them. Maybe a squad of snow troopers. I've heard they are quite good on the battlefield. I am aiming to get some death troopers. So between the snow troopers and the death troopers, we'll see. Just ignore the clone bark speed over there. That was sort of my first Legion model to get in bold. At one point, I was curious to see what the models were like, and bearing in mind I'd never built or painted Legion models before, so that was sort of a test. And as you can see in front of you here, the first load of Empire that I have and been playing with, as I said, thoroughly enjoying. Most of the stormtroopers, they are the result of the trade I had with my friends. Sorry, I had a slight blank there. So are the Inferno troopers, and as well as the shore troopers. The two speeders too. So it was quite a decent trade, I must say. But in terms of Director Krennic over here, that I have built and painted, he was a purchase of mine, as well as the giant ATST in the back there, which I've recently finished as well. Played a game with it, thoroughly enjoyed it. The shore troopers I'm also really enjoying. They seem to hold their own, as well as the Inferno troopers. So I'm keen to start playing bigger games where I can have a bigger force on the table, considering the most recent additions to my army, which I'll show you in a little bit. But as I said, I'm could very well go droid as a second faction and a bit of an alternative to play when I'm done playing Empire for a while. So, and considering the new things they are getting this year, I'm super excited. So they are potential, as I said, potential forces I could go for. So let's dive into the latest two additions to my force before we jump back into talking about this one in a bit of detail. Be right back, guys. And there we have it. We have the latest LART gunship, dropship for both Clone and Empire, and then the Imperial cargo tank, or tank as you will. So I recently finished this one, put a bit of foliage on, add a bit of flair. The cargo container things that came with it, I'm not sure what they're called, are still being painted. So this was the finished product, putting a bit of muddy effects on there, sort of going through a bit of a desert patch. Same with the base and that of the LART gunship. I found a spare trooper that I took a bit of twine with, as you can see. I don't know if you can. Sorry, focus. There we go. So I put him on, as I said, had him lying around, ready to abseil out of the dropship. Really, really like the model. It's quite sizable, which is really impressive. I definitely recommend it. All these models have come from one of my good wargaming shops that I go to and game at, which I'll leave the link down below. Really enjoyed doing these models, I must say. Doing a bit of sci-fi for a change. As I said, just they came together quite easily. The ATST, weirdly, you barely even needed glue. It clipped together like a 3D puzzle, quite honestly. I've gone for a sort of a standard with my bases in this tone, and with a bit of dry brushing for all my Legion models, just to keep them a bit, what do you call it, sort of the same. And they do look good on the table, and I'm also enjoying doing the odd bit of terrain, which some of you who are following my Facebook group will have seen. But other than that, really enjoying these models. I think they're absolutely fantastic and a lot of fun to build. Also, if you're fans of the movies, then these will just come into play, I guess. The Lark gunship I haven't really seen in any of the movies. I'm not sure where it's from. I haven't dived into too much of the series that are coming out on Star Wars. But those of you who know a bit more can drop a comment down below in the comment section. And then if we zone back to the main force of my collection, I just now need to get a decent carrier case to transfer these things to the shop when I game. But as you can see, for like the box speeders, for example, I went for, I think that's what they're called, apologies, that's a box speeder. These are the Imperial speeders. I went for my own sort of color woodland tone for the riders, and then same for the shore troopers. I went with my own sort of camo scheme. And then my Inferno troopers, as usual, black with a bit of red, and then your storm troopers with the two officers. We've got good old Vader over here, who I've used in a few games, quite a mean character. And then, of course, old Director Krennic, also quite good. I have not used this character yet. The name I've got on the tip of my tongue. Apologies, guys. I have gone completely blank. And then, of course, we've got old Fett over here. Also haven't used him just yet, but keen to. So that is my Legion force, guys. Let's get a closer look at the ATST. It is a massive model compared to these figures. But then again, the one thing I really like about Legion, as opposed to other games like Bolt Action and, Black Powder, they sort of keep the scale quite realistic, which is pretty cool. But the one thing I like about Legion is, when you pay the amount you pay for like an ATST, for example, you're getting it back in value because it is a huge model, as well as the Lark gunship. So that is my entirety of my collection. As I said, guys, very possible that the droids could be my second faction. The fact that the droid models are quite spindly and thin, that's the only thing putting me off. But as I said, doesn't matter. I've played a game with them leading by General Grievous, and they are just mean. So that is my force, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I shall see you in the next video. And I am nearly at 200 subs, guys. Please help me complete that first goal, and then I will move on to the next amount as we start climbing. But I see I'm slowly getting there, guys. I think I'm on 173, 74 subscribers. Please follow me. Help me complete that goal by hitting 200 subs. Still quite new and starting my channel, getting there with the videos. But I shall see you guys in the next video, and I'll try and follow as many of you as possible and your channels. But thanks to my supporters and my fans. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button, and of course subscribe. All info regarding these models will be in the description down below. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.